we are going to store this information into the firestore, so we need to have access to the firestore API. Those are another backend controller function, so let's define under controller firestore specific controller functions. Firestore controller module we are going to define. First, we need to import the APIs. So from the Firestore project overview, gear icon, project settings, choose a CDN and then get started. Somewhere down there in the middle, there is available library documentation. We are using CDN, first one, unfold, and then Cloud Firestore APIs we are going to use. So let's copy the import statement provided here. So on the top, we need to give this import statement. Very important thing is the version for this Firestore should match with the Firebase Core 11.1.0, Firebase Auth 11.1.0. All of those should be the same. But if we have some time gap between setting of core and auth and the Firestore, maybe the version may be updated. In that case, anyway, make sure that all of those modules use the same version. You can use all of them, latest one, by updating core and auth, or you can degrade the Firebase Firestore APIs there. So we are going to import several functions there. Then let's look up the document. Click on the Cloud Firestore to have access to the Firestore database. Always use a web modular API. And then we need to initialize, and then that initialization gets you an app object there. That is done in our core module. In core module, we have done everything. And then we have app object exported. So from controller, we can have access to the app object. So let's import app object from Firebase Core. So that is done. And then from the Firestore API, whenever you see something like this in document, that is equivalent to those CDN-based library. This is the local installation, so ignore this part. Another one we need is get Firestore, so then we can have access or reference to the Firestore database. So let's grab get Firestore function and then import it from Firestore API. Then we need to define DB object. So from DB object, we can have access to the Firestore there. So what we want to define is to add a document. So let's do that. The function we are going to define is export asynchronous function. Let's name it as addMessage when message object is provided. Here the message object is the one in the model we have defined there. So how to add the message object is first we need to define the name of the collection for this web application. So let's define collection message forum is a message forum. So let's first have a collection reference using collection function from the API. Provide the DB object, the name of the collection. We can have a reference to the collection we are going to use. Collection function is also from API, so let's import that. Once you have a collection reference, now we can have a document reference. Document reference is by calling addDoc from API. So we need to give addDoc function there. And then collection reference we have set up, and then the message we want to add. Then the data provided is stored into the Firestore, into this collection. And then what is returned is the object about the stored information. And this one has a docref as a ID property. This ID property is the document ID for the message saved. And then the Firebase Firestore automatically assigns an ID for that. So we are going to have this ID that will be stored in our model, message model. In message model, we have a document ID, but once this information is stored, we can get it, and then we can later set the document ID there. So that's how we add or store a message object into the Firestore.